I have followed codes and conventions on my front cover of my magazine, as I've placed the masthead in the top left, which is where it's normally placed when setting out the rule of thirds layout on the magazine. The Rewind magazine that I'm comparing my magazine to has also followed codes and conventions, as it has placed the masthead in the top left of the magazine, where it is usually placed in most music magazines. Rewind magazine have placed their main cover line in the bottom left hand side, which is not where it's normally placed, as the main cover line is normally placed in the middle, in the hot spot of the magazine, to attract the audience. However, they have already got their target audience's attraction. The middle of a magazine front cover is known as the hot spot. This is why I decided to place my main cover line there under my main image. The main cover line will be able to attract the audience's attention more, which would mean more people would read the magazine. For my main image, I've used direct address, which targets the audience directly. This is commonly used in codes and conventions of a magazine. Rewind magazine have also followed codes and conventions, as the main image covers the whole front cover and it is also in the middle. However, they have not used direct address, which shows they have not completely followed codes and conventions, and they have challenged it. I have used multiple cover lines in my front cover. I've also used tags, which help to bring the cover lines off the page and attract the audience. I've also used a strip, which shows an exclusive part of the magazine. In the top right, there's also a puff, which shows something that can be won or is free inside the magazine. And also in the bottom right, there's a issue number, date, and the price of the magazine. And also there is the barcode. The Rewind magazine has generally challenged codes and conventions, as there's only one cover line, which is the main cover line, and the issue number is in large text in the top right. However, they have followed some codes and conventions, as the masthead is in the top left with a main image that covers the whole of the front cover. But there's also no direct address for the main image, and the links to the magazine are in the bottom, which are normally either in the contents page or at the back of the magazine. Also, there is no barcode or price of the magazine on the front cover, which is normally shown in most music magazines and generally all magazines. In my magazine, I've generally followed codes and conventions, as I've followed rule of thirds with my masthead in the top left, a puff in the top right, a strip at the bottom with the barcode, issue number, and price in the bottom right, and then I've used direct address for the main image. I've got multiple cover lines with tags to attract the target audience, and then I've also used the main cover line in the hotspot of the magazine. In my contents page, I've followed rule of thirds and codes and conventions, as I've placed an image in each section of the rule of thirds with page numbers next to them to show the audience where to find each article. Also, I've used a variety of cover lines in the contents page to show where my target audience can find everything. Also, I've used the title contents at the top, and in the bottom left there's the website, and then in the bottom right there's also links to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I have not developed or challenged any codes and conventions in my contents page, as I thought it'd be an easier way to lay it out in rule of thirds and follow the codes and conventions to make it easy to lay out, and I thought it'd also look better. Rewind magazine have again decided not to follow codes and conventions, as they have not followed rule of thirds, but they have rather used two columns with an image taking up 3/4 of the page, and then in the top left they have the contents title with the issue number, and then underneath are all the pages with each article. They have not used links to any social media or their website on the contents page. This is a consistent theme of contents page that the Rewind magazine use. They have obviously been successful with this with their target audience, so they continue to issue their contents pages in this way. I split my double page spread into two. Although I've used an image covering the whole 2 pages, I have my artist on the right hand side, who's featured on the front cover and the contents page. Then on the left hand side I have the headline, subheading, grab quote, byline, and the rest of the illustration. Also in the bottom left hand corner and the right hand corner, I've got page numbers. I've also used my masthead at the top and I have the headline, the byline, and the subheading. I've also used a drop cap, and in the middle of the article I've used a grab quote. Rewind Magazine have also followed codes and conventions, as they have used a headline, byline, grab quote, and they also have an illustration. However, they have decided to challenge the codes and conventions, as they have not used a drop cap. This has been a consistent theme from their front cover, contents page, and double page spread, as they continue to challenge. Throughout my magazine, I've not challenged codes and conventions in my front cover, contents page, or double page spread. Since I did my research, I've seen what looks the best and what I think would look best for my magazine. This is why I decided not to challenge codes and conventions, but I decided to follow them.